Hello students, this is your physics teacher Sandeep Tiwari. So today I have brought another topic, that is torque on a current loop in a magnetic field. So this topic is for class 12. So what we have done in a magnetic field, that is we have a north pole and a south pole. So there is a magnetic field between these two poles, and we have kept a loop carrying current in it in this field. This loop we have taken to be of a rectangular shape. We can have a loop of any shape, okay, but it is very easy to calculate the torque for a rectangular loop. That's why we have kept it here. Now this loop has four sides and they have current in it. As we all know, if we have a current carrying wire in a magnetic field, it experiences a force, and that force we can calculate by this formula, that is I L cross B. Here L is a vector of the length of the wire, okay, and its direction is the direction of the current. B is the magnetic field, we all know. So it will come out to be ILB sine theta, where theta is at the angle between the length in the direction of current and the magnetic field. Now let us take AB and CD sides. Now AB and CD sides, the situation of the figure is like this. The magnetic field is from north pole to the south pole, so it is in the this direction, and the coil is like this, where A, B, C, D are the sides. In AB the current is upward and in this direction, and in like this in other sides. So if I try to find out the force on this side, we will have to use the Fleming's left hand rule. This direction, first finger is the direction of the current field, okay, and the central finger is the direction of the current. So now we see that the current is in this direction and the field is also in this direction. So the angle between L and B is 0. Now whenever the angle is 0, sine 0, we will have to put sine 0 here, so the force will be 0. So the force on this side is 0. Similarly, it will be 0 in this side as well, because here the current will be in this direction but the field is just opposite, so the angle is 180 degree. Hence again we will have to keep sine 180 here, so the force will be 0. So the forces on this side and this side are 0 for this particular situation. Now if we take this coil at some angle, so that we tilt it, we turn it, now what will happen? Magnetic field is along this direction and the current in this side is from this point to this point. Now if we again use Fleming's rule, field is in this direction and current is in this direction, okay, the center finger points towards the current and the first finger points towards the field. So here the angle is not 0, hence we will have some value of the magnetic force, and it will be towards the thumb, in the direction of the thumb. So the force on this side will be downward. Similarly, force on this side will be upward. So downward and upward. Now because these two sides are identical, they have the same length and the same current, and also the field is same at this point and at this point. So the forces will also be same, only that they will act opposite to one another. Hence they will cancel each other. Now let's move on to these two sides. The same situation, we are having some tilt of the coil from the magnetic field. Okay, let us check this side. The current is upward. Current is upward, so field is in this direction. Okay, so field is in this direction and current is upward. So we will show it by the fingers pointing upwards. Hence the force will be towards the, in the direction of thumb, that is towards the white board. So in the backward direction the force will act. Similarly on this side, the force will act in the forward direction. So we can show it in the figure. I have shown it by cross. Cross is a direction which is inward and perpendicular to the plane, and dot is a direction which is forward and perpendicular to the plane. On the these sides force is 0 or they are cancelling one another, but on these two sides forces are there. Now let us calculate the values of F1 and F2. From the same formula, I, length is B, magnetic field let it be B. Now we need the angle between B and B, that is length and field. See, length is upward, let it be okay like this. Length is upward, field in this direction. Okay, length is upward, field is in this direction. So what is the angle? Length upward, field in this direction. Angle is 90. Sine of 90. So it comes out as IBB. So let this force be F1, let this force be F2. Both will have the same value. Okay, because the angle will always be 90 between the length and the magnetic field. Only in case of this side, the length will be in this direction and force will and the field will be in this direction. Again they will have 90-degree angle. So force on DA and DC is the same and the value is this much. Now for these two sides, one has force inward, one has force outward. Both forces are parallel, but their line of action don't coincide. This line is parallel to this line, but they don't coincide. So they will constitute a torque. Suppose let me show by the example of this pen. If I apply one forward force on this and one backward force at this tip, what will happen? It will rotate. So these two forces F1 and F2 will constitute a torque, and because they are equal, we will say this is a couple which has a torque. Now we need the torque of this force. So let me erase this. Now this situation, this is the magnetic field and this is our coil and they have some angle. So we are viewing this from the bottom. So this is our CD side. So I am making the figure here. So suppose this is our magnetic field, the same direction, and we can view it from the top or from the bottom. So if we view it from the top, okay, so we will have AB side. So let this be A and this be B. We are viewing the coil from the top. So let this be, we call it alpha. Okay, now, okay, let's make it D and let's make it C. And now this will be A and this will be B. So this is the bottom and this is the top. Now here one force is acting and here another force is acting. F1 and this is F2, both have same magnitude. F1 बराबर F2 बराबर IB into B. Both have same magnitude. Now let us draw it further. So this is the line of action for one force, this is the line of action for another force. We need the shortest distance between the line of action of these forces to get the torque. Suppose for this case, one force is backwards, one force is another in the forward direction. So we need the shortest distance between the line of action of these forces to get the torque. So what will be this distance? Suppose we know this side is A. Okay, so this will be A cos alpha. Okay, so this side will be A cos alpha. Now for torque we will put force into shortest distance between forces. So that will be IBB into A cos alpha. So this is our torque. This is the force, this is our shortest distance. Now one very important thing whenever you are talking about these loops, always these loops have a normal. Normal means, suppose this is a loop. So what we do, we take a perpendicular line which is perpendicular to this plane area, and this area has a direction. Okay, whenever we are talking about these current loops, we give a direction to the area of the loop. So what we do, suppose current is moving in this direction. Okay, so we use the right hand curl rule. So if current is moving like this, the direction of the thumb, okay, is called the normal or the direction of the area of this loop. So if the current is moving like this thumb is called the normal to this loop or the direction of its area. So in case of this, okay, again we will take its normal. So because the current is moving like this, okay, from A to B, so the normal is in the inward direction. Okay, so the normal is in the inward direction, or we can say the normal is a line like this. Okay, which is like this. Or in this situation, if this angle is this is the direction of the magnetic field and this is the angle alpha, then this is our normal. Okay, normal is always perpendicular to the area. Now we need, suppose our normal is in this direction and this is our magnetic field. Okay, so if I take this situation, normal is in this direction and the magnetic field is like this. So whenever we are dealing with this situation, we take the angle between the normal and the magnetic field. Okay, so clear, this is the normal and this is the magnetic field. Now this is our normal and this is our magnetic field, and we have angle alpha between this side CD and magnetic field. So this is our side DC, this is our magnetic field. Angle between CD and D is magnetic field is alpha, and this is our normal N. Normal is always shown by N. Okay, normal is perpendicular to it but inwards. So this is our normal. Now if this angle is alpha and if we take the angle between normal and magnetic field as theta, then this will be the connection. Alpha plus 90 is theta. So alpha is equal to theta minus 90 degree. Okay, now we will keep the value of alpha here. So what we will get, torque is IBB A cos alpha, that is cos of theta minus 90 degree. Theta minus 90 degree. Or we will get IBBA. Cos will change because there is a 90. Okay. So it will become sine of theta. Cos theta minus 90, we can write it as cos of 90 minus theta. It doesn't make any difference. Okay, cos minus theta and cos theta are same. So it will be cos 90 minus theta. So whenever there is 90, there is a change from cos to sine. So that will become sine and theta will be theta. So it will become sine theta. Now this I am erasing. So the torque will become I A B into B into sine theta. The torque will be I. Now what is AB? AB is the area of this rectangle. So we will write it as A. This is B, this is sine theta. Now what is A into B into sine theta? I said that we call this area a vector. Why? What we have done? This area vector, this area we said it has a normal, and normal is considered its direction. So this area is a vector. And what is theta? Theta is the angle between magnetic field and the normal. Normal is the direction of the area, and this is magnetic field. Angle between them is theta. So what is this effectively? This is torque is equal to I into A cross B. It is the cross product of A vector and B vector, area vector and magnetic field. So this is our expression for the torque on a current carrying loop in a magnetic field. Okay. Now one thing, if this loop has n turns, okay, so what will happen? This torque will become n times, because the current will move from this direction to this direction in n loops. So one wire, two wire, n wire. So the force will become n times, hence the torque will also become n times. So if there are n turns, then the torque will be NIA cross B, and further torque will be, now one more thing, Ni, these are just numbers, okay, these are just numbers, we can multiply them with A. So N into I into A, this we call another vector mu. So we write as mu cross B. So we write it as tau barabar mu cross B. We have replaced NIA by mu. This mu is called the magnetic moment. Just like you have dipole moment, this is called magnetic moment of the magnet. Okay. So this loop, which has a current, behaves like a magnet with two poles. Okay, it's the direction of its magnetic moment is the direction of its normal vector. It can be inward or it can be outward, depending on the use of this rule, which is given by the direction of the current in it. So that's it. The torque is mu cross B. So hope all of you understand it. So that's it for now.